So guys, just jumping on with a quick demonstration for the Ski Erg for anyone who may be planning a Hyrox or just wants to improve their ski efficiency on the ergs. So to begin with the setup, as you can see here, I've set up nearly on the edge of the plinth. I would generally use about an arm's length away from the machine. I have quite long arms, so I will be on the edge of the plinth. If someone with shorter arms might be closer in. So you're going to start by gripping the handles. You don't want to squeeze them. If you squeeze them, you're going to be wasting unnecessary energy. We just want a firm grip to make sure they're not going to fall out of our hands or anything like that. So I begin with one long hard pull. This is to get the fan moving. Subsequent full pulls after this should be short and snappy. As you can see here, as my hands are coming below my shoulders, my hips begin to break and a slight bend in the knees into about a 3/4 squat. Every pull after that, you should focus on finding that sweet spot where you can keep the fan moving, and the next pull should be when the fan is still moving and it should be at its easiest point, which allows you to keep generating the same amount of power. What you should do each time is keep an eye on the screen, make sure you're keeping a consistent stroke rate and also a consistent rate of your pace as well. So as you can see here now, I'm just demonstrating if I use a full length of motion, trying to pull the handles from as high as I can down to as low as I can. This is expending a lot more energy, guys. You're nearly doing a full squat there. I'm using a lot more on my arms and I'm losing a lot of power there through the back where I was using just my lats. You can see that. So guys, next thing I want to talk about is the setting on the damper. So basically the way the damper works is the higher that you have the damper set to, the more force you can generate, the more resistance that the machine is going to throw back at you. So it's going to make it harder essentially the more powerful the strokes are. So what I've done here is I have the damper set to 10 for the purpose of this, and you can see the screen here. And I've done roughly about 100 to 120 meters of skiing. So just keep an eye on it there. So as you can see, my calorie pace there is roughly in around 1400. We get to 100 meters in just around 20 seconds. So now what you're going to see is I'm going to reset the damper to 5. Going to reset the machine, and you will see here now I'm changing. This is my second attempt. So as you can see here now, I've gotten the calorie output up to 1400 very quickly and very easily up to 1600 then. In terms of the time it took me to ski 100 meters, there wasn't much difference in the time with the damper at 10 and with the damper at 5, roughly 20 seconds for both efforts. So in terms of the distance in the time trial, very little difference. But in terms of the effort, I would say that the damper at 5, I felt like I was expending a lot less energy to actually increase my power. So it just shows, guys, that it's not always the best idea to have your damper at 10. You're wasting a lot of unnecessary uh, energy where you could be saving a lot more energy by putting the dampener at a lower level. So the last thing I want to speak about then is the hand position. So as you can see here now from another angle, my hands are not going any higher than my head in the standing position, and at the lowest point they're not dropping any lower than my knees. So that's the easiest way to scale it up or down for yourself, is to not to bring the handles any higher than your head in the standing position, and at the very bottom of the movement focus on almost driving the handles through your knees from the side of them. Last point I'll make then, guys, is as you can see here now, I'm keeping a bend in my arms. I'm not trying to keep my elbows out straight. I'm pulling through my lats, which is saving a lot of energy in my arms. So what you want to be doing is using your shoulder joint as a hinge there to pull through your lats. So you should feel the most of the power should be coming from. And that's my tips for today, guys. If anyone has any questions or anything I can help with in terms of improving your ski efficiency, don't be afraid to drop me a DM on Instagram.